What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Professor Anime coming back at you with yet again another Kingdom review on the 5th arc in the series, which is known as the Training Arc, covering chapters 97 through 107. So it's about 10 chapters long, a very short chapter. And it was mainly a build-up chapter, but it was still very entertaining and kind of leads up to what we can expect for our characters later on in the series. So while this is a short arc, I mean, like I stated before, this arc is pretty short. It's only around 10 chapters long. We don't really get to see, you know, the whole training aspect of this arc, which is kind of funny because it is called the Training Arc. But what it really shows us is that our characters are developing. They are developing, you know, they are going into their prospective fields that they need to improve on, and while at the same time, while it's short and giving us more, you know, characterization for the characters, it also builds up things later to come down the line. So let's first start off with the 6 majestic generals. I believe they're called the 6 generals of, you know, that lived under the heavens or whatever. So I'm just going to call them the 6 majestic generals. Now, we do know one person, in fact, that is actually a survived member of the group. I'm guessing that they kind of announced that the other 5 generals are apparently dead. However, there is one individual who ended up surviving among the 6, and that is Oki, man. I'm really liking Oki's character. I am really starting to like him, especially when it comes down to this arc and how, you know, he benefits Shin's character later on, which we will get to in a bit. But Oki, despite the fact that we haven't really seen much from Oki, like, I really just enjoy his character. You know, he's very ominous, and it makes me want to learn more about him. I mean, technically, the only thing that we really know about Oki is that he is one of these 6 majestic generals that is very strong, and of these 6 generals, you know, they would be known throughout of all of China, and they were feared. You know, like if they were to approach a dynasty or another city, you know, nearby that they would try to conquer, the city would probably just give up right in there and there before the battle even begin. That just shows how feared Oki and these other sort of generals were. It's really crazy. So I really want to learn more about Oki. Hopefully we do get more of a backstory and, you know, just more characterization over on as these chapters go out. So let's first start off with what is the name of that character? I believe 10 is the name. The girl with the sort of owl getup that she always wears with the blowpipe and all of that. So apparently Kyokai basically ends up sending off 10 to this other clan, which is basically the enemy of the Kin clan, okay, which is what Shin and Issei works for. And as we saw in the previous arc, this other clan, the Wei clan, I believe that was the clan name, the Wei, they are enemies of the Kin, and 10 wants to be a strategist, and Kyokai basically told her, you're going to have to give up your life if you were if you want to actually become a strategist. You're gonna have to become a new person all around, probably even with a new identity. And basically 10 is sent off unknowingly to the Wei clan, and from here on out we're going to see 10 become a strategist. She is going to develop over time into becoming a smart, strategic individual. Now, again, we haven't really seen much of her, you know, strategy play out. Shin says that she is good with, you know,
some sort of things regarding, you know, her brain. She can get some things done. However, we haven't really seen her in action when it comes to overall strategy. So it's definitely going to be interesting regarding her character, how she is going to develop. I'm very interested in that, especially on the fact that technically she is going to be working for the opposing side of the Kin clan. That is crazy. So technically later down the line we can see Shin and Ten fighting on the battlefield against one another. So that doesn't look good, but it does seem very entertaining. Now the next thing we get to see is some more progression regarding Shin's character, or what we can expect from him later down the line as he gets stronger and his progression to become a general is going to be more prominent. He actually ends up going to General Oki's city, his own stronghold, which is pretty insane. And basically, long story short, he goes to this city in order to train with General Oki himself. Now, doing this alone is a pretty big feat, because is General Oki actually going to, you know, accept this? You know, at first he's kind of like, I don't really know if I want to, but later down the line he actually accepts this fact. However, he tells Shin straight up that, you know, this, you know, harsh training is going to be very, very harsh, and he means this in the literal sense if Shin is to ever become a general at all. And what he ends up doing to Shin is complete savagery. Like, General Oki is a complete savage. What he ends up doing is that Shin is on a cart. They are going to a training ground, quote unquote, and General Oki ends up kicking Shin off of the cart, grabbing his sword, takes it completely away. Shin falls off a cliff, hits a tree branch, luckily, and then plummets down to the water below him. And then, while in the midst of that, below that cliff, a battle is actually taking place from a nearby village, filled with women, children, and elderly. The elderly and the women are fighting it off, and they are being invaded by a neighboring village, and they are getting slaughtered. They are getting decimated. But General Oki, he wants to train Shin in a ruthless way. He wants to open up his eyes, saying, hey, this isn't your average training. If you want to actually become a general, you got to have a lot of harsh things actually come to you. You have to learn leadership skills and how to just control everything on the battlefield in a manner in which, you know, you can remain calm. Because the moment that you turn out to be, you know, a reckless sort of individual and thinking that you're, you know, some sort of Rambo-like character, you know, you're going to get your life killed right on the spot. And even Kyokai told Shin this in the first place, you know. So it's just awesome to see this from Shin. Like, you see him in the last few panels actually directing the village on how to actually counteract against this invading village. So it's going to be really cool to see on how Shin develops from here on out as a character and how strong he gets later on. And the coming arc that I didn't really like, but according to the chapters that are involved in the next arc, like, it's going big arc from what I saw. I definitely can't wait to look forward to that, especially regarding Shin's character and from. I really want to see how this is going to play out with that as well. So I think that about does it for this video. This was the whole training 10 chapters worth